How's it going, YouTubers? It's Electron Man. Well, I'm out here in the shop looking at an old TRC 52 realistic, old 23 channel. Kind of cool. I went out there and saw an old brochure for it. It sold for like $120 new, and kind of a cool old ad. You know, this is the next new wave in radio, and I guess because they had an RF gain and a PA and an A&L, but anyway, it's really pretty limited. But yeah, this thing actually sold for $129 new back in the 70s. You know, today's dollars, man, that'd be probably $400, something like that. We've come a long ways. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and I'll kind of start out with, I've already got her plugged into the power, and I got my antenna hooked up, and we thought we'd see what she'd do. And this is what I got. I got a lot of nothing. So I'm actually not pulling any current either, so it tells me whatever it is, it's pretty early. Hopefully just a blown fuse, something like that, resistor, but it's definitely not drawing any current at all right now. Anyway, go ahead and get this video started. I do want to bring up something. I kind of got called out, and I was kind of expecting it. You know, guys, let me reiterate that I am no quote expert in this, and I never claim to be, and I am no teacher. And I'm just kind of bringing you along on these videos because it's kind of fun for me to make the videos, and you know, kind of you know, give a history of CB radios, and you know, keep something out there and keep this old, you know, hobby alive. Basically, maybe put a little excitement in it, and let people see. I mean, how many people have seen a TRC 52? You know, in 20 years, hopefully that video will still be out there, and in 20 years somebody can say what's a TRC 52, and they pull up my video and they'll see it. But anyway, yeah, I got kind of criticized because for one thing, I got this southern drawl. Can't help it, guys. It is what it is. I'm just a good old southern boy, and you know, I know my drawl makes it kind of hard, and I mispronounce words at times. It's just the way I was raised, and the people I'm around, you know, you pick it up. It's not because I'm ignorant or unintelligent. I hope that y'all don't think that, and I find it very insulting if you do. Also, you know, I got corrected. Well, that's, you know, that's an inductor. That's not a coil. You know, blah blah blah. You know, you know, I'm just kind of rattling along when I'm going on putting these things together, and like I guess the one thing I kind of ask, you know, these college educated, we'll call it. You know, how many parts did they put in a radio? You know, I was just looking. I just scraped this up from the side of the bench. This is about 3 or 4 days of work for me. I got burned out diodes in here, transistors, blown caps, fuses. What else we got here? Inductors, resistors, smoke resistors, bad wires, bad caps. I mean, you know, I've been doing something. You know, I'm reading a book, and you know, correcting people on how they pronounce things is one thing, but you know, I'm actually out here using my two hands and getting things done. So anyway, you know what? I appreciate any positive, you know, feedback. You know, I'll try to be more cautious in what I pronounce something, but again, don't use this as a roadmap to total, you know, fix your CB. You know, you might be able to, you know, if you watch which pots I trim, pots that have a core in them that you can move up and down, and as you move it up and down, and it changes inductance in it, which balances the circuit, is what I'm talking about. You can call it, I call them, you know, you can call them slugs, you know, dozens of things, slang-wise, but anyway, point being is as you know, when I'm doing that, if you're watching the ones I'm adjusting and listening to the warnings and what I'm telling you about as far as power level and how to go about it, you know, yeah, you could pick a radio that way and just be careful about it, and don't short anything out, and use a little common sense when I'm adjusting. And I'm like when I'm adjusting the ALC, which is the modulation, basically the way I personally do it, and I know I don't follow what some of these CB shops, hell, they cut the damn diode, cut resistors, bridge across, and they just put splatter in there. And I personally, I like a clean sound, not a loud splattered sound, but you know, hey, to each his own. You know, a lot of guys love that. You know, they love echoes and everything else. But anyway, I feel personally what I'm doing is I'm doing the best I can with the factory piece of equipment without modifying it. So basically, I will tune the ALC to the highest limit that I can get it to without it splattering or distorting. I have a modulation meter I use, and what I do is I basically look at the peaks on my scope. When it starts getting splattered, I stop, I back off a little bit, get it back to where it looks clean, and I look at the modulation meter, and it gives me a modulation number: 120, 130, 140, 100. But anyway, I didn't mean to get off in a tangent on this. I just kind of wanted to clarify some things that, this is just for fun. It's my little hobby. I've helped a lot of buddies out. I do fix CBs. I do have a little knack for that, and I don't know, my methods might not be the correct way, but I seem to get around to it the same way. A fixed unit is a fixed unit. How I get there, is my business. But anyway, and I'm not mad by any means. I just want to clarify a couple things here that these videos are for entertainment. I like to shoot the shit with you guys, and just kind of as I'm going along, keeps me from being bored in the shop while I'm working on it. And I hope you enjoy them too. That's the whole intent of them. I mean, if that's not going to work, then I'll find something else and quit making videos. Okay, guys, back to this TRC 52. I already got the screws off of the side covers. We're gonna go ahead and pull it open, see what we got. We'll do a little visual inspection to start with. See what we got going on. Let me get the back cover off as well. Do I see any burnt parts? No. Do I see any pop caps? No. Do I see any swelling caps? Do I see any leakage around the bottom bases of any caps? No. See a little corrosion around this SCR style transistor here. I'm sure it's probably a voltage regulator. I do have a schematic on this particular radio if I need it. But yeah, it's got a little corrosion. Nothing major. Looks like probably just moisture on that aluminum, but that is to be noted. Crystals all seated good, yes. Okay, so I see nothing obvious on that side of the radio. Let me look on the back side of here. See if we see anything obvious. Looks like maybe some factory jumps or revisions. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure that's all factory stuff. It looks like this might have been soldered on here after the fact. What is that? Looks like a couple caps. That's about it. Interesting. Okay, well, as you saw earlier, the symptoms are it don't do nothing. So on this one, I'm going to start with the obvious, and the obvious is to trace back from where the power comes in and start tracing forward and see where I lose voltage. It's not shorted. I'm not pulling any current at all, so there's obviously an open something. So I mean, that kind of gives me a good direction, just starting out where to work from. I was trying to see where the inputs go into this. This is interesting. The inputs go into into the circuit board here, and then it looks like where does it go from there? It literally goes straight into a transformer. That's interesting. A unit in a transformer. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, the power wire goes straight in, cuts over, and goes into the leg of this transformer. I wonder if that's for I bet you that's for noise reduction, like a alternator wind or something. That's the only thing I could think of that you would put an input there. I mean, that wouldn't step it down to 5 volts. And interesting. I have to go look at the schematic, kind of understand what is actually going on with that transformer right there. But anyway, I've digressed. Basically what I was getting ready to say is, on this particular, since I got no power at all, I mean, I'm going to kind of start with the obvious and trace back. So actually, one thing we can definitely do is we can go to the on and off Let me get my little alligator clip. Man, this just makes it a whole lot easier when you're working with. Took it to the ground. Well, be careful here. I want to be shorting that now. And I was getting to is, oops, am I in volts? Yeah, I'm in volts. Okay. Okay, I got her powered. Do I got it powered on? Yeah, I got it powered on. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is see. I know that the power switch is going to be at the front of or sending power back into the circuit board. It's definitely going to be at the first of the link. So one of the first places I come over here and see if I've got any voltage on the volume control. The on-off switch volume control. Pronunciation. I got to remember that. And I don't know, you know, these I call these rheostats. They're variable resistors is what they are. There's probably another name for them, but anyway, just to be specific. But this is a mechanical on switch with a variable rheostat or variable resistor. Let's see here. Well, now that's interesting. Okay, I do have voltage here, but I've got 15.45. I'm feeding 13.91 into it. How can I have 15 volts? I got no current draw according to my bench power supply. And I've got 15 volts at the on-off switch. How can that be? The only thing that would increase voltage would be a transformer. Even then, you would think it would be drawing current. I mean, this goes down to 0.00 watts too. I mean, my bench power supply is very sensitive to current draw. Interesting. How can I have 15 volts there? That is interesting. Well, let me back up here. I'll still see if I've got 15 volts in the back here. I sure do. Okay, now I got my 13.6 there. It's actually a current drop. That's about right. But then when I go that leg of the transformer, I can jump up to 15. Why would that jump up to 15? That makes no sense at all. I mean, it is a transformer, but I wouldn't think it would actually step up voltage. 2 volts too. I don't know how much current's in it. I'm just, you know, reading the voltage right now. What is it? Yeah, that's that SCR. So that's probably the voltage regulator right there. Whoa! Now all of a sudden the radio just came on. How can that be? That is crazy. Crazy, crazy. I ain't getting it. And let me loosen my ground here. That's a head scratcher. I'm one of them geniuses, and if they see this video, they can explain to me how that can happen. How can I have had 15 volts when I was feeding it 13.8? And now I was going through here, and I was just checking this transistor here with the heat sink. It's a SCR style, I think is what they call that. So it's probably a pretty high amperage transistor. I don't know exactly what it does, but I would guess it's a voltage regulator. Well, that's interesting. Which that should be right, but you know, and there's that 15 volts again, 15.3. But now the radio's up and running. And you know, that's the gates of that, so that's correct. I'm still curious where I'm getting this 15 volts from, but hey, the radio's up now. Definitely got a bad solder joint there. I wonder how much more of the radio works. So let me Let me just stop probing for a minute. See what we got here. Do we have sound? Let me turn it. Generator on. My generator's on. Go to channel 16. Well, we got meter. Oh, duh. Yes, I forget this is realistic. It's got to have a mic in it to hear sound. I got so shocked by the thing coming on when I was just testing that transistor that got sidetracked. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see what we got. Look at that. We've got receive. Do we have transmit? We sure do. Hello audio. Hello audio. Hello audio. Hello audio. Pretty good one too. Dead key in about. My meter's stingy too, by the way, folks, and it's showing about a dead key of 3, swinging 6 or 7, and receiving fine. Is A&L working? Yeah, nothing to brag about. Feels like it could use it cleaning too, but that's okay. But it is working, yeah. Well, crazy. Well, apparently, this is one of them lucky ones. This isn't going to be a very long repair video at all. I'm going to go here and so you can hear that connection. I got one bad solder joint here on that I'm betting if I pull up the schematic that's a voltage control regulator, but I'm still curious to why it ups the voltage to 15. I've been in a lot of radios and I don't know that I've ever seen that before. I mean, I know my meter. Well, that's definitely a bad solder joint, but okay, now it's back down to what it should be, 13.52. There forever I was getting 15. I wonder if, well, I guess, I don't know. I'd have to have somebody explain that to me, how that bad solder joint was creating 2 or more volts. Maybe feedback through the transformer? Possibly. Oh, how about that old Roberts? I'm over here in Oklahoma. That's the only team we got left. They're definitely they made it to the Sweet 16 in the March Madness in the NCAA. Is it NCAA, NCC? Anyway, again, I'm just rambling on, so correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, they made it to the Sweet 16. That's kind of exciting. I don't know. I think they got to play Arkansas next. That'll be a huge haul. Let me go ahead and get the solder iron, getting it heated up. Disconnect power. The last thing I want to do is blow it now that I've just fixed it, or actually fixed it while I was probing it. She came to life when I was just a probing. Crazy. See if there's any other solder joints that look like they could use a. That does, you know, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it definitely looks like a cold solder joint from the get-go. Wonder how long this radio's been down due to that. And you get the easy ones, you get the hard ones. Easy ones pay better though. Yeah, and as far as me, my peaker tune, like I said, I'm not no trap stop peaker tuner. I'm not trying to just get the most out and make the meters. You know, if I wanted to do that, I could manipulate the meters, go in there and adjust them, and have them convinced they're doing 450% modulation and dead key in 1 watt and swinging 3,000. I mean, I'm more about, like I said earlier, I like to push the limits of the stock radio. I mean, I get the guys that like to go in there and cut them and modify them, and that's fine. And I've heard some, and some of them sound amazing. And there's some sharp cats out there that can use some Schottky diodes and caps and do some second harmonics. And I tell you, I watch YouTube videos too, guys. But like I said, I like to just keep it within the realm of, because these are most of these radios I'm working on are classic radios. I want to keep them classic. I don't want to cut them up and butcher them up and turn them into a truck stop modulator. Let's see if we're getting hot now. I want to make them as clean and as powerful as I possibly can within the limits of the construction of the equipment that the manufacturer put in there. How's that? That sounded educated. Would that pass? Probably not. I probably said something wrong in there too. You want to correct me on the way I solder too? Oh, I'm not bitter. I'm never bitter. I'm an easygoing guy. I was kind of expecting somebody to challenge me on my electronic capabilities. You know what? I'll go back to how many radios you fixed this week. Some of them maybe a bunch. Other ones, they ain't probably never fixed a radio in their life, much less they got all the equipment I have and the trust of people I have. A lot of people, they don't bring the radios to anybody but me because they know the way I work. I'm honest. I don't feed them bullshit. I charge them a fair rate and I fix their shit. Not always. Sometimes it gets over my head. You know what? And I'll be the first to tell them it's over my head. You gotta take somebody else. I did all I could do. Especially when you get in them digital electronics. Digital? Is that how we say it? I digress. Okay. Cleaned all the pots. Resistors are good. It was clean to start with. Go ahead and put that. Well, actually, you know what I might just go ahead and do? Might go pull my little reference manual up and see what it takes to peak this. You know, might as well peak it while we're in here. Find out what the ALC trim adjustment is, and which of those variable inductors, can we call it that, maybe? And them springy thingies, you know, which I know are coils, which are actually an inductor too, if I believe, or they create a Henry or an inductance. So anyway, and I might be wrong on that too. If I am, be happy to correct me, but that's the way I understand it. Anyway, let me go get my cheat sheet here. See what a what was this thing? TRC 52 needs to, what trimming pots there is to. Okay, went out and looked at my little CB tricks, and it says VR or local 4 and VR. Hell, what was it? Hell, I can't even remember from walking in another room. The hell was it? VR8 and L4. VR8, variable resistor 8 and L4. So let's find variable resistor. That's variable resistor 6 there. That's 5. That's 2. 3. Where is that guy? Oh man, I bet you he's that one buried way back there in the back. You're gonna make me go look at the schematic. Are you serious? Can't even see it there. Wow. Sucker's buried in there. Well, that's 7, it says. So where the hell is 8? I did say 8, didn't I? I'm losing my mind. Baby. TR52, variable 8. Variable 8. That's 6 for sure. Oh, that's 8. Okay, that would look like a 5. That's an 8. Okay. So this guy right here, variable 8, and L4, which is that load coil right there. So we'll start with power to start with. Which my whole goal here is just to get, oh, I disconnected because I was soldering it earlier. This might help if I reconnect it. That's good though, with all that stuff laying underneath there. I liably shorted it out. I'm glad I had it disconnected. Turn off the solder now while I'm at it. This one's waxed in. Ain't gonna let wax out of there. Sometimes I heat them up with the iron just a little bit to get the flow. See if I can get this one working without that. No, I'm not moving. Oh, Lordy. Old and fat, I'll tell you. Sucks. There we go. Am I gaining or losing? I am losing that way. Gaining this way. So bringing it out is gaining. And when they say peak, they mean peak. What I'll do is I'll peak it out and typically I back it down just a little bit once I get to the peak. Look at all that wax, man. Yeah, I'll definitely heat it up. It's a soldering iron. What little wax is left in there, kind of make it flow, and so it doesn't move. That's the whole reason they put that in there, that wax, is to keep it from moving. That's stiff. I don't want to break it either. Those are pretty soft. Used to have a candle laying around here. I dropped a little wax back on it, but anyway. As I'm backing it out, I keep gaining a little bit more, so I keep backing her out. Sometimes all the way out is good. I know that sounds crazy, but I've seen some radios, they like it that way. I usually don't do that though, because it just seems like to me that's not right. Yeah, but it probably is. Okay. Are you ever going to start dropping? No, but the last 3 or 4 turns haven't gained me anything either, so we'll go back again. I see her start to drop off. Right there. There we go. Let's see what it looks like. Let's throw a little tone in her. And see if it makes any difference. And then go right there, we're going to call that good. And back it out this bit. Don't want to overdue it. Sorry, I know you don't want to be listening to that tone. Turn the oscilloscope, which I've been corrected on, I guess, the way I'm reading it. But I know one thing. I know what a distorted audio looks like, and I know what a clean amplitude modulation looks like. So I base it off of that. I'm sorry if my terminology is not correct. Hello audio, looks very good, nice clean. Okay. There we go. Hello audio. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Hello audio. Nothing wrong with that. Deckhand 3, swinging typical stock radio 6 7. Other than adjusting the load coil, and I have not adjusted the although it looks like it's already at its limit, but you can get in there and adjust it. The ALC. Hello. Yeah, it was already maxed out to somebody. Hello. Yeah. Well, then they just had that already adjusted. It looked good. In fact, I'll back her off just a bit. And take my barely, warm iron and melt a little of that plastic. What's left of that wax back kind of in that load coil so it doesn't move on me. Perfect. Can drop a little, drop the super glue, but I don't really suggest doing that because if you ever need to go back and retune it, it ain't gonna be easy. Okay, well, let me put the cover back on it, and looks like we got another one done. All right, guys, check her out. Man, she cleaned up nice. You know, it's amazing. I don't know how they Japan was putting that plastic chrome on, but man, it's a lot stronger than the stuff you see these days. I mean, this radio, God knows where all it's been and beat around and everything, and that chrome's still cleaned up. Looks like new. This radio really looks good. Hopefully you can see a good picture. I mean, all the lights are nice and bright. Cool little radio. See, works good on it. All the meters are working like they're supposed to. And we'll do a little old show you up there on my meter. Right at 3. Hello. Hello, hello. This ain't the best bucket either, but we're hitting about 7 watts. Dead Ken 3 hitting about 7, which is about average for what I see on this, unless I'm talking to 2950 or something. Then, but like I said before, I got kind of a stingy meter there. It's more of a test meter, so it's not a PDC or a DOC. That I'm not picking on those meters, but they tend to be a little less accurate than a test quality scale meter. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this little video. And I wasn't being on a rant. I hope it didn't sound like I was. I was just trying to set some records straight. You know, if I'm going to be making these videos, you need to understand it's really for entertainment. And if you learn a little something, great. But don't, take anything I say to the bank. It's, I'm just kind of rambling on, and I kind of have my own way and mindset of doing things, and I kind of speak out loud as I'm preparing, and yeah, I'm probably not referencing parts exactly as a college book would tell you, but I know what they are, and I know what they do, and I know how to replace them, and I know when they're bad and when they're good. So at the end of the day, I'm getting to the same point of repairing it. But anyway, everybody out there, have a great day. This is Electron Man, and please take a chance, like and subscribe. Really helps me out.